Jeremy Clarkson, the BBC's black sheep. In March 2015, the BBC fired one of its best-known presenters, Jeremy Clarkson, longtime host of the world-famous Top Gear series. Clarkson, then 54, was the network's highest-paid star, earning a whopping £1.5 million a year. Arguably, he deserved it, as Top Gear was making the BBC more than £50 million a year in merchandise and live shows alone. The show was created by Jeremy Clarkson and executive producer Andy Willman, and launched by the BBC in 2002. Clarkson and his co-hosts Richard Hammond and James May became famous worldwide, and the programme received acclaim for its visual style and humorous presentation. It became one of the most widely viewed factual programmes in the world. Although the irreverent humour of the presenters was considered to be its hallmark and quintessentially British, they were often criticised for casual racism and other offensive remarks. Despite the fact that most shows were quite harmless, it seems the presenters got carried away at times. For example, most would agree that Hammond shouldn't have said, "Mexican cars are just going to be lazy, feckless, flatulent, overweight," and Jeremy Clarkson shouldn't have added to the problem by suggesting that the Mexican ambassador would be so busy sleeping he wouldn't complain. Needless to say, the Mexican ambassador in question did complain about the show. Although the BBC issued an apology, many critics said that the BBC must stop attempting to excuse such behaviour as just a bit of fun. Despite insulting the Prime Minister, making off-colour remarks about lorry drivers and prostitution, cracking jokes about disabilities and many other blunders, Clarkson wasn't fired. He had to issue public apologies and continued to cause the BBC considerable embarrassment, but received no further punishment. However, in 2015, Clarkson finally went too far. Surprisingly, it wasn't a comment he made on the show. He was suspended and then fired for his unprovoked physical and verbal attack on a producer. His co-stars Hammond and May also quit the show. Many applauded the BBC's decision to fire the star. However, others spoke out against the ruling, arguing that the BBC couldn't afford to lose the celebrity. The wildly successful show flopped without the original trio, resulting in massive financial losses and, some say, even thousands of job cuts. Some have suggested that the BBC needn't have fired Clarkson, and have asked whether a lengthy suspension would have worked better, especially as he'd been forgiven for far more public scandals. The debate about whether celebrities should be held accountable for their public comments and actions rages on. In the meantime, Clarkson, Hammond and May are working with Amazon, presenting their new show, The Grand Tour. Perhaps all should have been forgiven? Pronunciation. You need not have done that sounds like you needn't have done that, or you needn't have done that. You needn't have done that. You needn't have done that. You should not have done that sounds like you shouldn't have done that, or even you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that.